Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. Hello, I'm Kelly Mantle. And this is the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle studio? Do you know I never know where I am, but I always end up where I'm supposed to be? Isn't that poetic of me? The other day, I was at a poetry slam at UCLA. I was feeling uninspired, but the espresso teeny got me wired and I was too awake to be tired. So I dug down deep into my repertoire and I pulled out the best that I got, even though it belongs to someone else. These are not my words. They are the words of another, but they still ring true today for every sister, brother, and other trying to love one another. And they go like this. Drums keep pounding rhythm to the brain, and la-di-da-di-dee, and la-di-da-di-da, and the beat goes on. And then I vomited. Welcome to the Kelly Mantle Show. Won't you come inside the Kelly Mantle studio? Oh my goddess, would you stop touching that mic stand? You have adjusted it 4 times already.
I'm just making sure that
that it's like aligned with invisible geometry?
What are you talking about?
You're spiraling, aren't you? I've seen you do this. You spiral one tiny thought and you become a demolition derby of insecurity.
Okay, I do replay like every interaction I've ever had.
Oh, you think? Like the other day when you said, did I look at that twink Jell-O shot salesman weird 3 summers ago? Are you kidding me? Baby, move on.
Okay, I have OCD, Kelly. I have intrusive thoughts like all the time.
Oh, it latches onto everything, doesn't it? Your health, your relationships, those 17 black identical t-shirts.
They are different fabrics.
Switch to voiceover.
OCD is highly treatable with the right kind of specialized therapy. OCD needs ERP, or exposure and response prevention, which is proven to be the most effective treatment.
Okay, come on, scientists.
NOCD is the leading provider of OCD treatment, and all their licensed therapists specialize in treating OCD with ERP therapy. With licensed therapists, you can meet virtually, plus support between sessions. And treatment is covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans.
We love coverage.
So if your thoughts are doing the most, don't wait to get help. Visit NOCD.com to book a free call with their team.
That's NOCD.com.
Lately, Kelly and I have been hearing all these stories about people using GLP-1 pills to feel healthier, more confident, have better lab results.
One woman I know started hiking voluntarily, climbing hills like a lesbian goat.
There's lesbian goats?
Don't be homophobic, John Mark. I mean, good goddess, if science can create a GLP-1 pill, then perhaps they can invent a medication for your condition too.
What condition?
Oh, I don't know, being the human equivalent of room temperature sparkling water?
Maybe there's a pill to help with your personality.
There is. It's called alcohol, and I am fully prescribed. Switch to voiceover. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results.
1 tiny pill a day, that's all it takes. Meanwhile, Kelly takes 12 supplements, burns sage, screams at the moon, and still wakes up spiritually bankrupt.
Because darkness takes maintenance, sweetheart.
If I needed a GLP-1, Ro is what I'd use.
Go to ro.co/mantle to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/mantle to get started.
And go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications.
Today's guest is the first queen ever to win a Rusical. And since then, her life has been like a big blockbuster musical. She has big gold bamboo hoop earrings, Michelle. Is it Brittany? Is it Derek? One can never tell. She came up from down under, and everyone loves her. It's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Courtney Act.
Oh, my very own Kelly Mantle Show. intro.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm also a podcastress with a purple curtain.
She's a podcastress with a purple curtain.
And I used to joke that on the other side of my purple curtain was you filming your podcast. And I was like, shh, Kelly's filming.
Right.
Don't disturb her.
Don't disturb her.
Just wait a
She's
minute.
very quiet.
She'll be finished in a moment and then we can action.
What are we drinking today?
I am drinking a tequila margarita.
A tequila margarita.
I don't know why I said tequila margarita. That was redundant. It's just a margarita.
I love that. Salud to that. I'm having a little
Salud.
Kim Crawford in honor of it. Now, Kim Crawford is from New Zealand.
I think so. Kim Crawford wines. Have you tried Kylie Minogue's wines, though?
Mm-mm.
I am told that the Kylie Minogue rosé is actually quite delicious.
I bet it is.
And there's a sparkling as well.
I'm going to have to try that. We'll have a Kim Crawford, Kylie Minogue wine evening.
Double blind taste
A
test.
wine taste test.
Yeah.
Because you know, Kim Crawford is a man. Did you know that?
You
Have
can't
you ever
just
heard
say
that before?
No, I didn't
She's
know
a
that.
Man. Yeah, she's a crossy, honey. You know she's a crossy.
Hang on. There's a story that could be real or fake
So you didn't know Kim
floating
Crawford?
around my brain. No.
Yes.
Is
I
she
always thought it was a woman.
the son or the daughter? There's some story about like a family lineage,
Oh, I don't know. Did he kill his
a
family?
dynasty. I don't know.
Is that what that means?
Maybe.
They kill their family if they...
No, like the heritage of like the famous father, a nepo baby.
Oh, lineage. I
Yeah.
was thinking you were saying... I thought you meant he killed his family. I'm like, oh my
What do we
God, girl,
call
he
that?
wanted that wine, honey. So this is so interesting about Courtney and I. We have literally seen each other 2 times in the last several weeks.
Yeah.
Which is more times than we've ever seen each other our entire
Period.
life.
And we were on the same season of Drag Race together.
And that's what makes this shocking. We were on the same season. So you ask, how does that work? Well, we had a split season on season 6.
Yeah.
And you were in the other group, and
Yeah.
I was in the other group, and
Yeah.
I went home first.
And then when I think somewhere around episode 3, we filmed the promo.
Well, no, it was right after. It was the day after my elimination.
Right.
We shot the promo. But I
I don't know if
remember
we saw
meeting
each
you at
other
the
there.
promo.
Because I remember doing like red carpet at the grand finale.
At the finale. The first time we met was at the taping of the finale,
Yeah.
which the season had already kind of run its course
yeah.
then.
And people were on the red carpet being like, so because you were, oh no, maybe it was the premiere in LA. Because, yes, it was the premiere because nobody knew where anybody went yet. And
Right.
people were like, LA Queens, what was it like? You and Kelly Mantle must have had a great time. I was like, oh, I've never actually met her. And then they were like, what? And I was like, oh,
I know.
I've said too much.
Right. Oh, honey, I was on the red carpet going, I went home first. And they're like, you can't say that. And I was like, what are you going to do? Fire me?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm already gone home, girl.
I think that we could have met in LA like in the transcontinental days. I remember watching you
Oh, did
perform.
we?
I was definitely like friends with like Vicky and Dee
Yeah.
and Rhea and
Well, no, I've
watching you
always
perform
known
in Trans
you.
K.
but
Yeah.
We'd
Never
never met
properly
before. We might have
kiki.
met in the Trans K days.
Yeah.
God knows, we were probably 3 sheets to the wind, honey. I don't remember meeting you at the promo shoot, and I remember thinking, Rue is now wearing wigs by Vanity. I bet this bitch has her own little photo shoot somewhere else, and it's rigged for her to win this season.
wow.
That's what I was thinking. My transvestigation unit was going, she's going to win.
Well, we know how that turned out.
We know how that turned out, honey. Those wigs couldn't even convince
No,
Miss
they
Rue,
could
honey.
not. They could not.
I want to start with the photo challenge, the first photo challenge with
Yes.
Mike Ruiz.
Yes.
We were in separate groups, had different challenges. Tell me how unfair this is, listeners, in the comments, please. Our group had to jump off of like a 700-foot platform into like a hot tub of foam. And these bitches get to do a pillow fight
Pillow fight.
with the pit crew.
It's true.
That's so unfair.
It was so unfair.
You all got to like dress cutesy and like cute little lingerie and like have a gangbang with the pit crew. And we're jumping, and my big old lanky body trying to like be graceful for Mike Ruiz behind the camera, honey.
I remember watching that first episode that I was on and having such high hopes, just thinking like, yes, that's me. That's Courtney Act. They're on the television, like having fun, making Rue laugh, being glamorous.
And it all went
It
downhill
all
from there.
went downhill from there.
It did not.
No, it didn't
You
at
had a
all.
wonderful,
I did.
wonderful showing and a wonderful season. That's the other question I had for you is where and how did you get those wings made in 6 days? Because I only had 6 days. Did you not have 6 days, Miss Act?
I prepared in advance,
Okay.
thinking, hoping that this might happen.
Well, no, everyone goes on about the wings, and I love the wings, but I have to say my personal favorite was the Klaus Nemi. I mean, are you kidding me?
I love that so
That
much.
was so excellent.
Do you know, I have to thank somebody.
Okay.
Rhea Latre. She was the person who actually gave me that idea.
It's one of the most excellent looks on Drag Race, I think.
you.
I mean, I love it, and I love the reference and everything. What was the challenge?
Black and white.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. And then,
What did you have for black and white?
honey, I had a black. My costumes were, honey, I had no business being there. Let's just say that. Did you have producers come around to your hotel room before we even started shooting and ask for you to have all your outfits laid out so they could see them?
I remember them rummaging through my suitcases.
They didn't do this to no one but me. I got specific instructions. I got a little note slid under my door and said, please lay all of your outfits, all your looks out so the producers are going to come by and review them. And I'm the only queen I've ever talked to that they did that to.
Do you think?
And Fenton and Randy came in that room, girl. And when I tell you,
Fenton and Randy came in the room?
when they opened that door, they went like this.
Oh.
And they held on to each other.
She has to go home first.
My animal print was a pink prom dress with just a little sliver of leopard print on the interior fabric down toward the bottom. And I was so proud of it. The lining. And you come out with wings. Ben de la Creme is like a robotic
Lady
insect
beetle.
or something. And I had lining that had leopard print on it.
I want to see the alternate sliding doors Gwyneth Paltrow universe where you're in the top 3 of Drag Race wearing what you brought.
I would have messed up the alphabet.
You would have.
A, B, C, D.
ABC. It would have been hang on. Who would have been? ABCD? Who would it have been? KBCD? Would it have been A?
Well, if I
KCD?
had been in the top, you said top 3, I would have been taking your place, obviously.
Well, there's no need to rub it in.
The reason we know that
Is because they turned the lights out and then they switched the name on the check. And then when the lights came back up on, Violet's name was on the check.
that part. And that's all we need to say. Girl, I was standing on that stage and they had taped the crowning of all 3 of them, Adore, Bianca, and Courtney.
Oh, yeah. Tell me from your perspective.
My perspective, standing there, we're thinking, okay, it's going to be over now. And they're like, everyone hold. And there's this long wait. Everyone's gibbering, jabbering, talking, whispering. We're going to do one more. And we're all like, what's going on? None of us knew. And you couldn't get more real reactions out of people. I would love to see the footage for it. Especially, I remember your face. Because right when they did it, I looked right at you. And they said, it's a tie between Bianca and Adore. And I looked right at Courtney and she's like,
I wrote about this in my book. And so
Did you?
during COVID, when we were all like locked in our homes by ourselves, I did some like deep childhood Drag Race regression therapy.
right.
And I did so much writing, which was very cathartic. But going back to that night, I now am like, oh, I like something like nearly broken and didn't get repaired inside my brain.
Really?
And
So it affected you that.
how you talked about Randy and Fenton coming into your room to like go through the bags, or RuPaul's wigs and me having a private dressing room, like those sorts of like little machinations that happen in our brains of like little conspiracies that we run away with.
Yes.
Take that, times it by 12 episodes,
Shut
add
up.
watching it on television, and then add all of those internet comments, which to be honest, wasn't even that much. It was 2014, like Instagram was recent. The comments weren't toxic yet.
And they had kind of pitted you against Jocelyn Fox. And
Jocelyn Fox,
made it
yeah.
look like you were bullying Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Which you said was not the case.
I mean, I didn't feel that way. And I've spoken to Jocelyn about it, and she also did not feel that way. We were both kind of cackling about the sort of the drama of it all, the perception of it all. I mean, this is the other thing, right? Now, 12 years later, with hindsight and seeing that that wasn't the end of my life or career or the last thing I would ever go on to do.
No.
That you're able to like breathe a little and laugh a little.
Absolutely. No,
But at
that's,
the
I mean,
time-
I love talking about it this many years later
Yeah.
because we really do have a whole different, clearer vision of
Yeah.
it, you know. I mean, going home first, everyone thought that was just going to ruin my career and my life. And I'm like, bitch, it's a gig.
Yeah.
It's like one gig on the list of many.
Yeah.
Like you just, you know.
But that's the thing for you is that for you, you were a performer who was working across music and film and television, doing gigs. And so for a lot of people, I mean, I'd done Idol and I'd worked professionally in the Australian entertainment industry. But for a lot of girls, this is like the first and some of them the last sort of gig
Absolutely.
that they've done.
Yeah, no, and I respect that because that is, you know, it was my first time to ever be Kelly Mantle on camera. And I realized looking back on it now, I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I had only ever played characters on camera other than maybe just like doing an interview or something. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how to be Kelly Mantle on camera. That's really difficult.
Can I ask you a question? Would you, especially this new format of like All Stars where you don't need 129 outfits, would you ever go back and do an All Stars?
Of course I would.
I think the world would love that so much.
As long as they promise to send me home first again. That's my
Only
answer.
you can-
I've been asked and I told them, if you promise to send me home first again, I'll do it.
Only you can assure that.
Well, that's true. I guess I could make that happen, couldn't I? I want to go on a pork chop season
Of all of the firsts.
and go home first on the pork chop season.
What we need a pork chop season and we need a Bad Girls Club.
I love
Like
that.
me and Willem. Somehow me, Willem.
Honey, you get thrown into that bad girls club and you're the nice one.
Who else is in the Bad Girls Club? Carmen
Mistress
Carrera.
Isabel Brooks.
Is she in the bad? Is she? No, she's not off the Christmas card list, is she? Is she?
Oh, you mean bad girls is in like their reputation, their relationship with World of Wonder?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like a bad girls club, like who's the bad
right,
girls?
right.
Oh no, it would be you and Willem. Who
Tyra
else?
Sanchez.
Tyra Sanchez, honey, would be up there. You
We'll
know what
never
else
know.
would be interesting is people have mentioned doing a winners and first out team.
Ooh, that's fun.
I'd be with Bianca, bitch. I'd win. I wouldn't have to do nothing. I would just let her
And
sew
you
my
and
outfits.
I think you and her would like slay. Actually,
Honey,
I think
would
you'd
let
be a
her do
great
all the
team.
work.
But also, like, you're both very talented performers.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be like a nice compliment.
That would be
there.
fun. Well, you talk about the relationship with World of Wonder. So it was how long after season 6 was it that RuPaul blocked you on Twitter?
It wasn't that long. And I think it was around the time there was a conversation, there was a challenge on season 6 where we had to hold up a paddle that said female or she-male, which has actually been edited out of, it went to broadcast.
On streaming.
But it's now been edited out of streaming, where we were shown pictures of cis women and trans women, but like close-ups. And we had to hold up a paddle being like, is this a female or a
No, I
she-male?
don't remember that.
And then that sparked a conversation about the T slur. And then Rue kind of at that point doubled down and said, if you're worried about me calling you a word, then you've got bigger problems. And I was like, oh, here's a great opportunity. RuPaul's going to really respect this. I'm going to like write a Facebook post, very thoughtful, send it to my manager, like got some edits to take out the temperature and make sure that it was open and just saying like, oh, you know, I agree in some ways. Like, I think trans people do have bigger problems than just a word. And I feel like we should be listening to them and focusing on some. This is the part where I paint myself as an angel in this story, by the way. Talk about some of the other issues about like homelessness and violence and all of these other metrics that trans people have to struggle with in the real world that aren't the same for other LGBTQ brothers, sisters, and non-binary folk.
Right.
And I thought, like, I was like, this is really thoughtful. Rue's going to really
Heartfelt.
appreciate me engaging in intelligent conversation rather than just internet slander. Blocked.
Girl, she did a TLDR, too long did not read.
Very that.
Block.
But then I actually kind of understand. And you know what's weird is that I wouldn't say it's a recurring dream, but it is a dream that has recurred. And I had it kind of recently. I was with a friend and we were doing a hike and we'd taken magic mushrooms as well. So I feel like the brain is extra open.
Tuned in.
And on the walk back from the hike, we were talking, Drag Race came up. And so I was talking about it all. And I went to bed that night and I had this dream. And in the dream, Ru and I were friends. And we were like hanging out. And I was like, oh, actually, do you know what? I always knew this. Like I knew that we would like each other if we were just like hanging out and having a good time. I feel like something happened somewhere where everything got mixed up. And I even remember in the dream going, is this a dream? This feels like and I was like, let me just check, ask somebody, am I having a dream right now? And they're like, no, girl, this is real. And I was like, I'm so glad. I felt this like sense of relief and comfort knowing that I had been like laid to rest. And then I woke up and I was like, I felt so ripped off because I even thought, is this a dream?
Yes.
And double checked inside the dream. But
so that's obviously something that you wish could and would happen.
I think so.
At some point, yeah.
I think life's too short to bother. I mean, I think RuPaul thinks life is too short to bother.
Right.
But I think...
Did she ever unblock you? Or I mean,
she did.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there was a gesture there of like...
There was a gesture, but there was also a message that came with the gesture.
Oh, what did it
Which
say?
was, I think I've talked about this, or maybe I wrote about it in the book. Todrick Hall and I were filming some videos together, and I told him about the blocking, and he was like, this must be a mistake. Let me message Ru. Ru called him, and Todrick was on the phone to Ru for about an hour.
What?
Just pacing back and forth outside the room, and I was sitting there like...
Oh, I didn't know anything about this.
And Todrick came in and he was like, well, it wasn't an accident that she blocked you.
Oh my God.
And she knows that we're friends. And so she asked that I don't go into the details, but she did say that I could tell you, I just don't like you. And I was
Are you serious, Courtney? I did not know this.
And then I got unblocked, but
That's weird. Why would you get unblocked after a message like that, I wonder?
In a weird way, like this is the 12 years later sort of mature version of me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, this is...
I kind of get it. Like it's 2014. You're just trying to do good in the world. You're giving these queens opportunities. You're putting them on television. You're giving them a leg up in the world. And then those little bitches go around and like criticize you for like some detail of this or some detail of that whilst there's an internet pylon going on. And,
right.
And that was kind of the thing of like, I guess biting the hand that feeds you. And there's a fine line between not being open to criticism and biting the hand that feeds you. But I mean, I genuinely, and I think like that dream in a weird way, as much as it's my subconscious maybe desiring that to happen, I think it's also my subconscious resolving sort of a sense of peace with that and saying a little bit like, you don't like me, that's fine, but I like you. And I do admire, look up to, I'm able to separate the art and the artist and actually see it for what it was.
Exactly. You can separate the two things very easily, you know? And I'm sure she can separate the two things.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think...
Also, she doesn't care.
Well,
in the nicest possible way.
There's this thing, though, that I think that she has always been friends with trans women, and she has always included trans women in her projects and hung out with trans women and been, great friends with trans women. And I think maybe she was getting this piled on, and she's like, what are you people talking about? I've been friends and supporting trans women my whole life. So even though your message was heartfelt and intelligent and for dialogue, at that moment, she was probably
absolutely
this,
and that's why I get it.
Right. But she should be open to dialogue because you can have the past that you have, but not still be up with the future.
Yeah.
And you need to be educated and you need to have dialogue about what's going on. I mean, she posted, the train flag for...
That was
trans pride one day.
That was beautiful.
Maybe you should have a dialogue with Courtney or someone.
Was that performance art?
I don't know.
I want to believe it was, but I
want to believe
was.
she was like gaslighting us, like on purpose. Like she's like, I'm going to post this.
I'm going to post the train flag.
Right.
Bless.
I do wonder, honey. But I would love to see, this is what, we bring people together here on the Kelly Mantle Show. We just brought Trinity the Duck and and Pheromone together. We're bringing people together. So I want to see a round table with RuPaul and Courtney Act.
An Access Hollywood.
Yes.
Hosted
and
by Kelly Mantle.
Hosted by Kelly Mantle.
With that beautiful lighting that they have.
Yes,
We'll
it would
all
be
look
amazing.
gorgeous.
I would love that. Every morning at precisely 7:15 a.m., Rhonda rises from her king-size bed like a widow in a perfume commercial. She begins her ritual. She combs her hair slowly, selects her jewelry with the precision of a museum curator, slides on her opera gloves, black satin if she plans to ruin someone emotionally over lunch. And now, beside her vitamins and collagen powder, sits her once daily GLP-1 pill from Ro. I've genuinely been surprised by all the exciting things I've heard about GLP-1s lately. Fewer cravings, more energy, more confidence, even benefits that go beyond the scale. And honestly, I love that there's now a pill option. Some people were intimidated by injections, but a daily pill feels approachable, elegant, very Rhonda. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. It has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results. With Ro, everything is online, provider care, insurance checks, side effect management, and more. If eligible, people paying cash can often get started in less than a week. Honestly, if I needed a GLP-1, Ro is what I'd use. Rhonda, too. Right before standing silently on her balcony with a tiny espresso, hoping her ex-husband's boat sinks. Go to ro.co/mantle to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/mantle to get started. And go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Okay, picture this. You're on a boys' trip deep in the woods. You're swimming in a lake, glistening, free, a little bit of chest hair catching the sunlight. You're bonding while peeing together behind a tree like a pack of butch wolves.
And then your brain ruins it. What if I said something weird earlier? Do they actually like me? Why did he laugh like that? Was that at me?
Suddenly, you're not in the lake. You're in your head. You're not pitching a tent. You're pitching a full psychological breakdown.
OCD is way more misunderstood than people think. It's not just being particular or quirky. It's intrusive thoughts that cause real anxiety, but it doesn't have to stay that way. That's where NOCD comes in.
NOCD provides specialized treatment for OCD using exposure and response prevention, ERP, the most effective treatment available. Their licensed therapists meet with you in live, face-to-face, virtual sessions and help you take the power away from those thoughts so they don't run your life. They also offer support between sessions, and treatment is covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans.
So you can actually be in the woods instead of lost in your head.
If your thoughts are doing the most and you're tired, don't wait. Visit NoCD.com to book a free call with their team. That's NOCD.com.
Because the only thing you should be overthinking on a boys' trip
is who's gonna bottom.
Kelly!
You're welcome. The best part of RuPaul blocking her on Twitter was that you received a gift from Willem in Alaska, and it was a necklace that said blocked. And then what happened?
It was a Christmas present. The AAA girls, Willem, Alaska, and I did like a Christmas in my living room on YouTube kind of thing. Willem gave me this like Perspex necklace that said blocked. And when Madonna came to Australia, I got chosen to be her unapologetic bitch, where she pulls someone out of the audience, dances on stage, banana, you do a shot of tequila with Madonna.
Love that.
And she zoomed in on the necklace and she was like, blocked. Are you feeling blocked, sweetheart? Who are you feeling blocked by? And I had this sliding doors moment where I was like, do I tell Madonna that RuPaul blocked me on Twitter? Like
on stage.
On stage in a stadium of like 50,000 people. I'm like, Madonna knows who RuPaul is. And be like, well, you know RuPaul. Well, she blocked me on Twitter. And I was just like, nothing. Like I just kind of like brushed past it, which is where like Willem and I are different people. I
Right.
think Willem would have
Willem
doubled
would have taken
down.
the microphone
She
out
would
of
have
her
been
hand.
"Let
There
me
would
tell
have
you
been
a
no more Madonna
story."
concert. She would have told a whole story on it.
An intimate cabaret.
I wonder what her response would have been, though, because there are rumors that Madonna does not groove with Ru too well. Think about why she's never been a judge on Drag Race.
Do you know what that could have been? That could have been the sliding door moment.
Honey.
Had I told Madonna, Donald Trump might have not become president.
Let's get into Australia. I have to tell you, I got to go for the first time on the Trixie and Katya live tour.
Oh, yes.
I fell in love.
good.
Are you kidding me? Australia, New Zealand, the whole area, I fell in love. Sydney was my favorite city one of my favorite cities in the world now, that and New Orleans. And everyone there looks so fit and so good. It's amazing.
Tell me, I don't know what it is, but I love nothing more than people loving my country and my
Honey,
city.
Can I tell you one of my favorite places that we went? It was called Wollongong.
Wollongong?
Wollongong.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, Wollongong. Honey, that little island or whatever that is down
It's
there
inland,
on the
but
water,
yeah.
honey. I loved it. And we played, it was so damn cold, but I loved it. And we played in this little
What
theater.
was it? Like, is it
that
the
looked
people?
like an igloo.
Is it the location?
It was the location, and I walked down the sidewalk because they had put us in day rooms, and so you'd get off the bus. We had driven down there from wherever we were, Sydney or
From
wherever,
Sydney, yeah.
and they put us in little day rooms. Well, was walking from my day room to the theater, and I would get lost a lot of times. I ended up on a freeway in Sydney.
Oh.
And I just kept walking, and I ended up in this little magical forest.
Aww.
And it was so cute, but then I couldn't find my way back to the theater. But I love that place.
It's so that I lived in Los Angeles from 2010 to 2019. I moved to London for a few years. I fled home to Sydney during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that I would want to come back to Sydney so soon. I thought I had unfinished business. And there's just something that, having lived overseas and loved LA, loved the United States, loved the UK, but there's something about going home that now I just appreciate Sydney in a whole new way. Like I'm constantly in awe of the city that I live in.
Yes, I love that.
It's so pretty. I ride my little e-bike around town and I'm just like,
so good, and it's so clean, and it's just so good.
like little things like
The vibe.
like the gutters and the streets are like paved with like lovely stone, and the street furniture and the lamps and the thing. Like, I know it's dumb, but like there's so much greenery everywhere you
Yes.
turn, and it's just such a
Oh,
yeah,
I love
really
it.
love it.
And you know what my favorite thing is when I was little, there was a woman from Australia that I wanted to be,
Olivia Newton-John.
and her name was Miss Sandra Dee. I got to
Look
sit
at
in a
me.
hotel room at 3 a.m, and I had smoked a little weed, and I was watching old rerun talk shows of Olivia Newton-John on Australian television in Australia. I was like, was she like your everything?
Oh yeah, of course. I remember watching Grease as probably in the 80s. I remember. Do you know the Veronicas, the pop group?
Love the Veronicas.
We were in a band together as kids called the Yabba Dabba Doo Young Entertainers.
Are you serious?
And their mum, Colleen,
Uh-huh.
was sort of like, in a weird way, my queer educator. She would show us all of she showed us the Rocky Horror Picture Show as early teens. It was an edited version.
Right.
She'd get the 2 VHSs and cut out all of the extremely lewd things, but it's Rocky Horror, so it's all a bit. And she played us Grease, and she played us so many things. And I just remember having a love of Grease from such an early age, and Olivia Newton-John just being that
Honey,
glorious.
the music, because all of the music is just the songs. What is the one that's, you got to believe we are magic. Nothing will stand in our way. Yeah.
And Xanadu.
Xanadu.
I sing Xanadu like I as an Australian, and there being so much sort of iconic Australian pop music, whether it's Olivia or Kylie Minogue, I love doing Aussie music in my sets. And it kind of happened by accident.
Did it?
Where I just realized that I had 6 Australian songs in my set that I do. And I love doing Xanadu.
I love Xanadu. And Physical.
Physical's a good one.
Let's get physical. Did you know that song was originally written for a man to sing? Because if you listen to the lyrics, I took you out to dinner. Now the only thing we can do is talk horizontally.
That's not the thing a woman says in the 80s.
Exactly. And they were going to give it to Tina Turner, but Tina turned it down.
Tina turned it down.
And gave it to, and suggested Olivia for it. Wow. And the producers didn't want to use Olivia because they didn't like the ballad type of vocals on it. But that's what's so cool about it is it's a song about physical and then her vocals.
Took you to an intimate restaurant, then to a suggestive movie.
It's so good. And I love your voice. You have a beautiful voice, Miss Courtney Act, and your cover of Over the Rainbow.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. Where was that at?
That was at the Sydney Opera House on New Year's Eve. It was 2022 going into 23.
If you have not seen this, go look it up.
I love that. Perfect. As a performer, and I think as a drag queen who always saw themselves on the fringe and always longed to be included in the mainstream, when those opportunities to be like on Australian television, New Year's Eve, like the biggest night of the year, singing a song like Over the Rainbow. And I go back and sometimes I just watch things like that back and I just think like they like me. They really like me.
Your Sally Field moment.
It's just so like beautiful to feel included in the mainstream.
It's so cool because you have definitely crossed over to the mainstream more times than more times than one. And all of the credits, like it's wild because of course you have the Australian credits starting, back to Australian Idol and then Masked Singer, Dancing with the Stars. You were brilliant on that. And then of course Drag Race. And then you won Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. Yeah. It's like international. And I love what you say about that because that opens you up to an audience that's sitting there watching TV and it comes on. They're not searching for you. Yeah. And you're getting an opportunity to entertain and educate people at the same time.
There's something wonderful about Drag Race because it's a destination show. People, like especially back on season 6, it wasn't on television in Australia or in the UK. People had to like illegally download it on Napster or LimeWire. I don't know what it was. And so it had this huge audience. Like artists were touring, Drag Race artists were touring around Europe and South America and Australia, and the show wasn't even legally available. Like people had to jump through so many hoops. And I love that about Drag Race is that it has such a diehard, dedicated fan base.
Exactly.
But then there's something wonderful about shows like Celebrity Big Brother in the UK. It's on television in a country that is on one time zone. So every person in the country is still sitting down to watch TV at the same time. And the next day they talk about it at the water cooler. It was like that era of television that kind of stopped existing over the last few years.
Exactly, yeah. Well, honey, going into it, that was quite an entrance, honey. Girl.
She lost her skirt.
She lost her skirt, and you know what? I'm so glad that it was all revealed right then, just right from the beginning. This is what you're getting, and this is what's happening.
This is what you're getting. You're getting.
We're just letting you know.
2 vacuum-packed chicken breasts sealed to her crotch. I was taped. Lumpily taped. And
honey, Willem would have judged that tuck.
Willem would have judged that tuck.
Willem would have judged that tuck.
But it was actually Year of the Woman in the UK. It was 100 years since women's suffrage.
Wow.
And I thought, well, it's Year of the Woman. Obviously, I should not win. A woman should win.
Right.
And then as the competition went on, Boris Johnson, former Prime Minister, his sister, Rachel Johnson, was in there. And I didn't know quite as much about UK politics. And I thought, well, she's going to be surely an inspiring feminist who's going to speak out. Or different people who were in there. I thought, someone in here, I remember there was a conversation about like, hands up if you identify as a feminist. And all of the women and all of the men were like, and I was like,
wild?
I was like, wait, have I missed something? Is feminist a dirty word? And did
Isn't that crazy?
like
I know.
I support equality of the sexes? Is that
I know, exactly.
But it was such an interesting thing, and then it came down to me and Anne Widdecombe, a 70-year-old politician who in 23 years of parliament had voted against not just every single piece of pro-LGBT legislation that ever came before her. She also had a lot of she converted from Church of England to Catholicism when the Church of England started ordaining female priests because she thought that was too progressive. So she had like quite conservative ideas.
And then the one
about-
that came in and was trying to attack you, and you put her in her place, and so she's been voting against you and your wife for how many years?
And there was two older gay people in the house. Wayne Sleep, who was in the National Ballet, a wonderful ballet dancer, gay man, who was in his 70s, and Amanda Barry, who was an actress who was in the Carry On films, a wonderful older woman who'd come out later in life, met the love of her life, who was a woman, and Anne, the straight politician, and the three of them, I think because of their age, bonded. Despite their social and political differences, they realized that actually we kind of like each other. And then Amanda, I was in the bathroom like getting ready, and she kind of came in to like pick a fight, and she was like, "Listen, you need to stop picking on Anne." And I was like, "What?" I was like, I mean, I enjoy engaging Anne in adult conversations about, I don't know, handcuffing female prisoners during childbirth. I think that's interesting that she's voted on that. I'd like to know more about that.
Love to know more about that, Anne.
But Amanda was like, and another thing, I used to work with Danny LaRue, and I know drag queens, and a drag queen would never be so sloppy as having their skirt fall off. And then like stormed back out of the room, and I was like, work.
She told you.
She told me.
She told you, honey. And there she is supporting a woman that is voting against her humanity as a
human
lesbian.
rights as a lesbian woman.
That's crazy. I know.
Anyway.
I know. Well, I'm so glad that you got to do that and that you won, because I think you provided a lot of education to people, and you continue to do that. The other project you work on that I love is you were the host for, what is the bisexual show called?
The Bi Life.
The Bi Life, honey.
It's really fun.
Are you bi?
I am.
So am I.
Thank you.
Being bi is fly, honey.
Being bi is fly.
Fuck yeah.
It's funny because I remember a friend of mine was like, "You're not bi, you're just opportunistic. You just sleep with women if their boyfriends are there." And I was like, all right, let's go with that. When was the last time you slept with a woman because her boyfriend was there? And he was like, never. And I was like, so it's different.
Exactly.
Like, it's not attracted to men and women 50-50 to the same degree at the same time. It's attracted to people of my own gender, other genders, not necessarily to the same degree, not necessarily in the same way, and not necessarily at the same time.
Well, I love that you say this. You say, I don't have to be a woman. I don't have to be a man. I can just be me.
Yeah.
Gender is not just, it's not just this. There's a spectrum. There's a whole spectrum,
Yeah.
This is what's interesting to me. So you will talk about your encounters with with men who identify as cis heterosexual men.
Mm-hmm.
And you are presenting as Courtney when you are with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is an extension of who you are as Shane.
Mm.
And you see yourself as a woman with these men. So where does that fall under like a trans umbrella term?
I think for me, there's male, there's female, there's non-binary as a third category. And I have sort of done lots of thinking for myself about those sort of three categories that we kind of have.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of came to the idea that like I'm very comfortable in my body and in my mind, in my gender. And I think for the longest time I thought that I had to change something about myself in order to fit into society. Mm. And I know that that is certainly the experience of many trans people, many non-binary people, particularly binary trans folk. But for me, I like the idea of expanding the category of what male is or what a man is or what is expected or allowed of somebody who is born with a penis. And I kind of think I was always looking for what was wrong with me. And I kind of realized that it was actually the system that was broken. And I remember
that's
that
such a great thing to say.
aha moment.
Yes.
I remember like where I was.
That is a very big aha moment.
Where I was like, what is it? Like, I was like, there's something like, and I thought, I sat and I sort of took a few deep breaths and I was sitting with it. I've always liked meditation.
Yes.
And I sort of just sat, meditated, and I was like, wait, I think this discomfort is not about myself. It's about the outside world telling me who I'm supposed to be. That's the thing that's broken.
Yes.
And so for me, I've felt a comfort. I mean, it took me many years and ups and downs and journeys to get there.
Yeah.
But I felt a comfort in my own body and my own mind.
Mm-hmm.
I love femininity. I love masculinity. In fact, from the time that I kind of had that revelation, I've probably become more masculine.
Isn't that interesting?
I think I was
know.
running away from masculinity
Yeah.
for so many years,
Yeah.
being like, oh, because it was mean to me.
You hit it on the nail there. It's like you don't have to, if you're not a traditional person by nature, you don't have to adjust yourself to fit some societal norms if it doesn't work for you.
And then sometimes I wonder how much that actually applies to even like heteronormative people, because they live in this paradigm that gives them two options. Well, one option.
Right.
Like you're a man or you're a woman. Men are this, women are that. And for most people, that probably does fit, like, I don't know, 90%, 80%.
What's the term that you told one of your
Heteroflexible?
guys? Heteroflexible. And he had an aha moment.
He had an
was
aha
all
moment.
like, oh, wait, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah, like hetero, but flexible. 'Cause sometimes you got to give men a get out of jail free card.
Honey,
You
we
know?
have to. We have to. I know. It's so wild to me because so many of them are into trans women and people that are non-binary and trans adjacent and everything. They're sliding into our DMs all the time. And you talk about this because I've dated so many athletes in my lifetime. It is so wild to me. There is something about the extreme masculine being attracted to the extreme feminine, you know, and there's got to be like some study done about that.
I think that's like if there's like an arc or a Venn diagram crossover, I think that the crossover is much bigger. I just think that the men who are living those extreme masculine lives, there's no place in their world for their sexuality to exist.
Right.
And I think they just repress it. And I think that actually all of the sort of the femboy, twinkie, trans, non-binary people who don't feel like that they have a world in the LGBTQ community who desire them or who are attracted to them. I think there's actually like this whole cohort of like hetero identifying masculine people who are attracted to that, but there's just nowhere except for maybe Grindr for those people to meet. And Grindr, in the nicest possible way, it's a wonderful place, but it can be a cesspit.
Well, they're having the same conversation that you're having. They're saying, I'm attracted to these people, but society is telling me I should not be and cannot be. And it's like your aha moment of saying, wait, I'm trying to fit to society's expectations instead of just being me. They're doing the same thing. They're fighting, you know, they're like, I just want to be open about it. And thankfully, I think, you know, with this generation now, I think that, you know, people are a lot more open about it and a lot more conversational about it, even though our lawmakers are not. You know, so. We like to play games here on the Kelly Mantle Show, and we're going to play Drag Association with the one and only Courtney Act. Will she be caught in the act talking shit?
This is where I have to say the first word that comes to mind, isn't it?
First word that comes to mind.
Deep psychological insight here.
Deep psychological insight. Are you ready?
Oh, yes, but will I be honest?
Magnolia Crawford.
Nose. Flight attendant.
Right. Hopefully not maggot. Milk.
The one that got away. She's engaged to be married.
I think they did.
Or
get
maybe
married.
they got married.
I think they got married.
Aww,
We
I love
that.
milk.
Well, I love milk.
Big and milky.
Vivacious.
Ornacia.
Right. Exactly.
Overshadowed. Would you be grateful that you invented Ornacia and that she has transcended you?
Honey, when she walked into that workroom, I'm here to tell y'all right now, you talk about editing. They had to probably edit about 5 minutes out of her trying to get that zipper open. It was like 5 minutes longer than what you saw on TV. And we're all over there going, zip it down, girl.
Do you think that Vivacious is jealous of Ornacia? Do you think she's been to therapy? I went to therapy once to talk about after Idol, I went to a therapist to talk about feeling jealous of Courtney.
Oh.
And the therapist pointed out some good home truths, which was the things that at that time I was like, people like only recognize Courtney out in public and nobody recognizes Shane. And she was like, well, that's probably nice though, isn't it? Like you've created this personality that isn't as publicly accessible. I was like, oh yeah.
But that's interesting. You know where that came from? Because didn't you show up on day one to audition for Australian Idol as Shane?
As Shane. Got knocked back.
Got rejected. Then came back the next day as Courtney and got accepted.
And
so that's playing tricks on your mind going, wait, why do they love Courtney but not Shane?
Well, and my high school core trauma is standing opposite where all of the straight boys sat and asking, why don't you like me? Like that's my kind of right. I didn't understand what is it about me that you find
Was this like dodgeball?
No, just like at school, where they say it wasn't a literal. It was more like my feeling about high school was asking the straight boys why don't you like me? I don't get it.
Really?
And because I thankfully had a mum and dad who were very supportive, and I was like, I feel that I'm valid from these people, but I don't understand what it is about you people.
And then add the extra layer of they would like Courtney.
Oh, and maybe some of them have.
Oh,
I think that's a comeuppance for every
honey,
straight
it's the comeuppance from down under, honey. Speaking of down under, Hannah Conda. God, can we talk?
Joy.
Liza.
The
Liza.
I love it when drag queens do drag.
I do too.
And there's that sensibility of
because you and I don't
queen.
do it.
We don't really do it.
We don't really do it.
We don't really do it.
Right, girl? I know. We don't really do it, but we love the ones who do it. Dame Edna.
Complex.
Complex.
A wonderful icon of Australian entertainment. In the latter years, had some choice words to say about trans women.
I know.
Which was disappointing.
It was so disappointing because I saw her live here in LA, downtown,
Brilliant.
Wherever. And you talk about, are you kidding me?
And lace fronts.
The lace fronts.
Stunning human hair. Lavender lace fronts.
Lavender lace fronts, honey.
I was on an audience with Dame Edna once in 2003. She was sort of on the thing, and then a whole bunch of Australian celebrities were in the audience and asking questions. And I got to meet her, and I remember getting a photo with Dame Edna and being she's very maternal looking, and as a character, very maternal. And I was like, what is that energy? What's going on? And it was sort of a bit of, and I was like, oh, Dame Edna is an old straight man inside this drag.
No.
Don't be fooled.
Was he filling up your butt
Just
pads?
g'day, darling. Hell yeah, you look beautiful, Courtney, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, that's Dame Edna is an old straight man who's inside there seeing a pretty feminine figure.
Were you felt up by Dame Edna?
Not felt up. I'm not going to let you put words in my mouth, Kelly Mantle.
That's going to end up on Pink News, honey.
That's going to end up in the
Courtney
Sydney Morning
Act
Herald.
was
That
felt
is.
Up
The Telegraph, the Sydney Telegraph.
Is that what it is?
Guess who don't sue?
Gia Gunn.
Oh, I just hope that Gia Gunn is in on the joke that Gia Gunn, I don't think she is, Gia Gunn doing sound bath healing.
I won't with you, Courtney. I will not. Courtney.
I don't want to be that person, but Gia Gunn.
I will not. Honey, you can't. The two worlds colliding.
It's a noise. It's a sound bath, all right. I don't know if it's healing. It's nails down a chalkboard.
All I have to say is maybe it's just not for you.
I didn't exactly cough like a man. Gong.
Girl. Michelle Visage.
Ah. I've done my therapy on RuPaul, Kelly Mantle.
Oh, no.
You know what? Good on her.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Something happened somewhere along the line and nobody remembers what it was. I was at the opening of Anne Juliet on the West End. And she was seated behind me and I did not realize. And I was chatting to her friend and she was like, "Girl, what is it with you and Michelle?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't actually remember. I don't actually know. There's something, but I don't know what it is." And she was like, "I'll sort it out. Don't worry." And then I messaged her during the week and I was like, "So should I call Michelle?" And she was like, "Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't." And I was like, "Oh,
girl, all these people have it out for you."
I know.
Why?
Well, they happen to be best friends. So maybe she's just on behalf of her. Maybe she's a loyal friend.
I want to know.
I want to know if he
really
loves
What's your karaoke
me.
go-to?
I Touch Myself by the Divinals.
I touch myself.
I want you to love me.
Down. Were you in a music video with Parkway Drive?
I did an interview with Parkway Drive.
Okay, because my man's a big Parkway Drive fan and he told me to ask you.
Winston, the lead singer of Parkway Drive, who are like one of the biggest metal bands in the world,
Love.
is also one of the nicest straight men. He has been to Drag Race meet and greets.
Has he really?
His wife and he love Drag Race.
Oh, I love that.
And I interviewed him on a TV show in Australia and he was like, "Nice to see you again, Courtney." And I was like, "Oh." And he said that we were in like Majorca, I think, and he and his wife happened to be there and like saw me and his wife came over, or he came over and was like, "My wife's a really big fan. Would you mind if you got a photo?" And I didn't know who he was at the time. And
yeah,
he's
Parkway Drive, their music's really good.
Yeah, I've been to a Parkway Drive
Have you
concert.
really?
And there was a really big drag. Well, a lot of people who were there, I was out of drag, just minding my own business, but there was a lot of people who recognized me and were like, "We love you, Courtney." And I think there's like people on the outer who love metal, who love Drag Race. Kind of crossover.
Exactly. The Transvestigation Unit at the Kelly Mantle Show wants to know, is it true that your first job was being a door-to-door salesperson?
Yes.
And a woman kidnapped you with a sword?
Yes.
Courtney Act? What the fuck?
Back when cable TV was new, in Australia at least, it was 1999, I'd say, maybe 2000. 1999, 2000. And I was a door-to-door salesperson, like walking door-to-door selling, it was called Foxtel, like our Spectrum. And there was this lady who was very... Madonna's This American Life was out, whatever year that was.
You're dragging Madonna into
I was listening to her on my Discman, I guess. That I just remember like walking up this very hilly neighborhood, knock on this lady's door, and she was like, "Yeah, come in." Like she was very like a little like you could feel the crazy. And I was like, "You got to meet crazy with crazy." I was like, "Yeah, girl," like me, like 18, all alone.
And you're trying to sell a package.
And I'm trying to sell her a package. And she's like, "Yeah, what I want the sport, I want the this, I want the movies, she wanted the ultimate package." And they would tell us sometimes if the person wants the expensive package and it doesn't look like they could probably afford the expensive package, you're better off trying to downplay them to get them to just buy the basic package so that they will continue on. And this lady was just very enthusiastic, and she had like maybe it was like a Japanese sort of samurai saber on the wall, like a decorative one. And she wanted to show me very enthusiastically, and she kind of pulled it down. Like in my mind, there was a silk scarf that was like kind of thing. I don't think that happened. I think that's just a repressed false memory. But she was just kind of like pointing it and waving it. It wasn't, maybe I'm being too forgiving, but like objectively, I don't think she meant me any harm, but she was waving a very sharp sword at me.
It's because you were trying to downgrade her package.
Because I was trying to downgrade the package.
And she pulled up that
like,
samurai.
I want premiere movies.
That's exactly why. How old were you?
Like 18 or 17.
Oh my God, that's traumatic.
I never signed her up. I had all the details.
Did you get out?
I got out.
Oh,
Well, obviously I got out. I died.
Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
by
you
the
for
way.
having me. It's been such a delight.
It has been such a delight. I'm so glad that we actually got a chance to talk to each other.
And it's such a
because
rarity on a podcast that you get to tell a beginning, a middle, and an end of
I
a
love
story.
that. And tell us, speaking of podcasts, when are you starting yours back up?
Well, we're currently looking for sponsors. So, if anybody wants to drop some coins into the oh no bucket.
Yes. I loved it. I loved the
you. It was a lot
episodes.
of
I
fun.
tuned in and I loved them all.
It was
They
a
were
lot of
so
fun.
good.
Our Jackie Beat episode.
Yes, girl. The Jackie Beat
Love
episode,
Jackie
the
Beat.
meatball episode,
Love
the
that.
adore,
Meatball
honey.
wanting a gun.
Well, as she should.
Arm the dolls.
Honey, arm the dolls, protect the dolls. Well, I can't wait to see. And I loved watching Vanity step in on Race Chaser. Had no
Just
idea where she was.
11 a.m. Didn't know where she was, why she was there, what was going on.
We love you, Vanity.
Love her.
All right, so let everyone know where they can find you on the socials.
At Courtney Act on the TikToks and the Instagrams and all the places.
Go follow Courtney on the socials at Courtney Act and see what's coming up for her next. Thank you so much. And please go click that subscribe button and leave comments on what you thought of this episode. And please go join our Patreon and buy our merch. And we want to thank you so much for tuning in. And tune in next week when our guest will be Kylie Minogue.
I'm coming back next week.
Show me what you got.
She's going to bring some rosé.
Show me what you got. Is she going to bring her rosé?
She's going to bring her
me?
rosé. She told me she was.
Get her on the phone, John Mark.
I just faxed her.
Tell her to bring. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are y'all friends?
I've met her a few times and she's a delight. I went to her birthday party. She invited me to her birthday party once. She's a delight.